Alright, in today's video, I'm going to be diagnosing a problem just crept up on my Super Duty. It's 2011 with a 6.2 gas engine. Went to start the truck. Everything comes on like it should. Turn the key. Hear stuff click, but nothing happens. Turn the key, nothing's happening. So, need to diagnose exactly what's going on. You might assume bad battery, so we will check our battery, check our voltage, but everything else in the truck seems to be working good. All the lights come on, you know, it doesn't seem like a classic low voltage problem, but I'm gonna just pop the hood, look at the battery, check the voltage in it real quick, and then we'll go on to the next test. Alright, this is a newer battery, so yeah, but you never know, it could be the problem. Or it could have just run low. So I'm going to put my voltmeter on. So I've got 12.3 volts, which is good. Battery's fully charged, so it could be a bad cell internally, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably not the problem. I'll move on to the next test here. Alright, now I am underneath the truck. And I suspect that it's the starter or the starter solenoid. That's more likely the solenoid that's causing the problem, but they're one and the same. So if you look up next to the engine here on the passenger side, next to the oil pan, you'll see the wiring coming in, and the thicker wire right here is coming directly from the battery, and that's your 12 volt signal. And then the little wire right there is the ignition signal coming in. So when you turn the key to start, that gets energized, and basically the solenoid is just a big relay that completes the battery directly to the starter. So what I'm going to do is hook up a test light, and we're going to see if we're getting voltage on, number one, the battery line, which is important, and then number two, when we turn the key to start, we want to make sure that we're getting voltage on this line here, 12 volts. If we're not, then we know that there's a problem either with a relay, the ignition switch, the computer. There's a bunch of other things. Let's hope this is where the problem is. If we're getting voltage here, we know that it's either the starter itself or the solenoid. Okay, so I'm just using a simple test light here. Get the other end grounded. So if I touch it to this line, you can see I've got 12 volts coming from the battery. Now to test the other side, I'm going to use my remote start button here since I'm underneath the truck by myself. Alright, so we'll turn the key to start. Alright, as you can see, the light comes on, so we are getting a positive 12 volts, so that's a good thing. Let me go up here, and there's a third terminal, which is the output. Do it one more time. Okay, so in this case, do it again. The relay is working, or the solenoid is working. It's the actual starter itself that has quit. So, just need to replace the starter. Alright, so I'm under my F250. It's got the 6.2. Just got the starter out. And this is kind of a pain in the butt. So, just going to make this little video just to help you out. You can see there's 3 bolt holes. Alright, so you got a bolt hole up at the top here, one right here on the side, and one on the bottom. Now the one up at the top is the hardest to get to. You got your exhaust on one side, you've got the engine block on the other. There's really no way to get at it good. And part of the problem is there's this casting right here that gets in the way of getting a socket with an extension on. And the motor mount is right behind the starter. And this will make more sense to you when you're doing it. But to get that top bolt loose, I had to use a little, like a wobble on the end of a 3/8 inch drive, 6-inch extension, and the short socket to get that top one out. That's the hardest one to get out. The one on the side, not so bad. I just used 3/8 with a 6-inch extension, and the top and the side bolt are 10 millimeters. The bottom one is a 13 millimeter because this is the stud that the ground screws onto. So, like I said, you'll see when you're taking it out what I mean. But that top one, it is possible to get it. It took me about 25 minutes, a lot of patience, and I ended up having to use my fingers to unscrew it most of the way. Luckily, it wasn't really seized in there. Once I got it loose, I was able to reach my hand up from the top of the block on the top of the exhaust manifold down and use my finger to unscrew it. Besides that, there's just some wiring connections. Make sure you disconnect the battery, obviously, before you disconnect any of this wiring. You got 3 connections: a ground, battery positive, and then your input from your ignition switch. But that top bolt is the issue. So here's the new starter. I went ahead and picked up a Ford Motorcraft one, and they don't even offer new ones anymore at the dealer. They're all remanufactured, but it's actually surprisingly a lot less expensive than buying one at the auto parts store. You could pick up a aftermarket brand on Amazon pretty cheap, Amazon or eBay, but I don't feel like replacing the starter every year or two, and you get what you pay for. It's a good idea to use a Ford one. The starter that I took out of there has been on there since 2011. It's got about 180,000 miles on it, so hopefully we'll get a similar amount out of this one. Alright, before I put this back in, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little anti-seize on the bolts just to make sure they don't seize up in there. That would make this a much more difficult job. So especially if you live like a northern state where you get salt on the roads, be a little bit of cheap insurance now in case you ever got to do this again. Alright, so to put it back in, it's real simple. Just set the starter up in place. And just sets up in place. Line up your bolt holes. And we'll go ahead and we'll just start the bottom bolt. And the one on the side that we can get too easy. Then once we get everything lined up, not tightened down, we'll start that top bolt, get it hand tight, and then snug everything down. The last thing we'll do is connect all the electrical connections. This mount right here is way in the way. You can't even get a tool behind here to get that top bolt in. So you just have to feel your way to that bolt. Got the bottom one and the one on the side here started, so it's holding it in place. Now I'm just going to work in that top bolt. And the best way is just to feel up on top of the starter. And the good thing is, since I put the anti-seize on, the one on the side, I was able to thread in pretty much all the way by just with my fingers. So all I'll have to do is snug these up. It'll be kind of easy. Alright, so now I'll take my 6-inch extension on my swivel and we'll just work it up to that top bolt and snug it down. And you want to kind of go in a, not really a crisscross, but back and forth pattern until you get these all snug down. Alright, the second bolt you can actually get with just an extension. You can see I've got the socket, so a 6-inch extension and a regular 10mm socket. You don't need the swivel for that second bolt. And then the bottom bolt you can get with just 13mm wrench or whatever you want. That's also your negative terminal stud. So the only one that's really the pain is the one on the top. And this is just like changing a starter on one of the newer F150s. It's basically the exact same setup as the F250. So for tightening and loosening the top bolt, I found it's best to get the swivel and your 10mm regular socket on there. And then you can move the extension. You can tighten it as much as you can with your fingers like this. And then you can bring up your socket or your ratchet and stick it on the end and just do your final tightening. Once you get everything snug down, it'll be time to connect your wiring. So I took a wire brush, just cleaned up my terminals a little bit here. They weren't bad though. Then you want to take your ground. Obviously your battery's been disconnected this whole time. Take your ground, we'll stick it back on here, and we'll snug that back down. Then your battery positive goes on the big lug, and the starter goes on the smaller lug here. Then we'll be ready to hook the battery back up and give it a shot. Alright, once I get everything bolted up, the last thing I do is just spray a little bit of terminal protector. Just helps keep corrosion off. Not that there really was any. And we're ready to fire it up. Alright, batteries reconnected. Fire it up. Alright. Alright, what we're looking for is fixed. Alright, so maybe this was helpful for you. Like I said, sorry I wasn't able to really get video of taking it out more, but it's kind of a pain to videotape that. But maybe I gave you a little tip to help you out. The only thing I can say is if you want to watch more videos on it, it's just like a 2012, 2009, etc. F150. It's very similar. So if it helped you out, give me a like. If you have any questions I can answer in the comments section, go ahead and do that, and we'll talk to you later.